Now introducing Simon Coxall of Great Northern Minerals. Welcome, Simon.
Welcome and thank you. Hello, is that all making sense?
Looks good.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much, and welcome to the Great Northern Minerals presentation at the Noosa conference, albeit remotely. My name is Simon Coxall and I'm the Technical Director of Great Northern Minerals, and I'm looking forward to running through the company and our North Queensland gold projects with you. By way of background, Great Northern has 3 gold projects located within approximately 200 kilometres radius of Townsville. We're centred in the mining town of Greenvale, where we own the Golden Cup, Camel Creek and Big Rush gold projects. We own those 100% and they comprise 11 granted mining leases and a number of exploration permits which surround those mining leases. In terms of the Board of Directors of Great Northern, our chairman, very experienced, Kim Robinson. Kim was previously the chairman of Kagara, which developed a number of base metals and gold operations in North Queensland. Cameron McLean is an experienced mining executive with a finance background. He introduced these projects, which was a real coup into Great Northern in mid-2019. I'm a geologist, and our other director is Simon Peters. Simon is a mining engineer, and we think we have all the bases covered for the advancement and development of our projects. Shares on issue, we've got approximately 900 million shares on issue. Stocks trading at 1.6 to 1.7 cents, which gives us a market capitalisation of approximately $14 million. And we've got $1.4 million in the bank. The key to the assets of Great Northern Minerals is that they've been held by private parties for the last 30 years. And those private parties in the early 1980s and the early 1990s mined approximately 2.5 million tonnes at about 2 grams from these projects. The mines were all shallow open pits, targeting principally the soft oxide mineralisation. And they mined that material, they stacked that up on heap leach pads and then leached the gold from it. Now, the beauty for Great Northern and the opportunity is that there'd been very limited deeper drilling underneath those shallow open pits. The open pits ranged in depth from about 15 to 30 metres, and as I say, very limited drilling underneath them. In the last 12 months, Great Northern has significantly advanced these projects, and we've conducted 4 drilling programs underneath those pits, which has established the continuity of that mineralisation at depth. The first program that we completed was in 2019, and that led to 2 moderate JORC compliant gold resources, and the previous work that we've done in the last 6 months had substantially added to that. You can see the gold resources on the right-hand side, about 76,000 ounces. We have defined, however, exploration targets to 100 metres depth. Now, if you consider that there's been 2.5 million tonnes to 30 metres depth, it's not hard to extrapolate that down to 100 metres and get a substantial increase. We own the mining leases 100%. There's been no royalties whatsoever, and we're moving forward with that work. Geologically, these projects are located what's called in the Broken River Province. Now, the Broken River Province is characterised by sedimentary rocks, principally shale, siltstones and sandstones. These rocks are all very complexly folded, and where you get the most folding, you get the development of what is called axial planar cleavage, shear zones, and where those shear zones are intersected by regional structures is where the gold drops out. What we know in the geology of these areas is that once you have a break in the rock, which ultimately forms the conduit for the gold coming up and precipitating out, every time there's additional deformation, those breaks, those fractures, those faults in the rocks open up, and you get the introduction of additional gold mineralisation. Similar in principle that if you fall off your bike and you break your leg as a young kid, if you fall off again on your motorbike as an older boy, you'll break that same area because it's the weakness. Those zones that I've described are characterised with strong development of quartz veining and sulphide mineralisation below the base of oxidation. The tenure position, you can see the mining leases in red and the exploration permits which surround those. We've been completing a lot of GIS compilation work in terms of going through a lot of historical reports and digitally capturing all the past exploration. So we're now finding a number of additional targets within the exploration permits, but the focus to date really has been on those mining leases and drilling underneath the open pits. What we see ourselves as is more of a development company than an exploration company. We haven't got nebulous exploration targets. We've got kilometres of open pits that have been previously mined, and effectively we're simply drilling at depth underneath those. Big Rush is one of our major systems there, just to the south of Greenvale. We completed some drilling in 2019, and more recently in September, we drilled an additional 25 holes for about 5,000 metres. That drilling was focused on underneath the southern, central and northern pits. You can see the calibre of the intersections there, 24 metres at 4, 32 metres at 3.89. And the beauty about the drilling is that there had been, we had no dusters, if you like. The drilling confirmed mineralisation from section to section. We know that there's anomalous mineralisation over 2.2 kilometres of strike length, and the drilling that we've completed so far covers 1 kilometre. A couple of other slides there. The one on the left is an aerial imagery of Big Rush, and it just highlights the southern, central and northern open pits where we've conducted our recent drilling. The drilling was on nominal 40-metre centres, and as I say, every drill hole intersected the myelinite shear zone and the gold mineralisation. So we're very encouraged by that. The other important thing that we're currently doing is we're drilling 4 deep diamond holes underneath the central pit at Big Rush. The RC drilling that we did tested the structures down to 120 metres with success, and we're now hopeful that that diamond drilling will extend that gold mineralisation down another 100. Just a brief summary of the recent drill results at Big Rush. As I say, we didn't have a duster and every drill hole intersected the target zone. So we're becoming comfortable and confident about the ability to predict where these gold zones are. Camel Creek is our second large gold project, and I've got a brief introduction video. I'm hoping it's not going to be too stuttered. Just bear with me. go. So that was the introduction to Camel Creek, and we're very excited about Camel Creek. The beauty about it is that there's been 28 open pits, shallow open pits, mined over about 4 kilometres of strike. Great Northern commenced our maiden drilling program in July and August of this year, and we drilled 18 holes for approximately 2,500 metres. The drilling was focused simply on a 700-metre strike length area over the Camel Creek system. And again, like Big Rush, every drill hole intersected the myelinite zone characterised by the quartz and the sulphide, up to 2 parallel zones, each between 4 to 5 metres of true thickness, and a number of very good intersections that you can see there. 24 metres at 3.5, 10 metres at 2.5, and many others. So the focus here is really to expand our drilling programs at Camel Creek, to demonstrate that mineralisation well and truly goes below 35, 40 metres, and certainly the first RC program has demonstrated that. So as I say, it's really a matter of just getting the drill rigs in there and drilling underneath these known gold systems. Again, just to highlight the intersections at Camel Creek, all of them are potentially economic. We've recently completed some metallurgical sample collection there to establish the optimum processing method on the assumption that this drilling will continue to be successful and we can define a substantial resource at Camel Creek. A bit more detail, just sort of on the left-hand side, again, an aerial imagery. It shows the drilling that we conducted. Again, nominally 40 to 50 metre centres, and every hole intersecting the myelinite interpreted shear zone. That drilling has also allowed us to define what we call the hinge zone. The hinge zone is where we get the confluence of a number of the structures which are focused on the lithological contacts and what we call the axial planar shears. On the right-hand side is a long section, and again, that just demonstrates the continuity that we were able to demonstrate from our maiden drilling program. So Camel Creek's got a long way to go in terms of advancement and development. Golden Cup, that's our third gold project, which spatially is located quite close to Camel Creek. The drilling that we completed there was in December 2019. Again, some notable intersections, 7 metres at 7.5, 9 metres at 4.7. They were quite shallow intersections. And again, this deposit needs additional extensive deeper drilling to demonstrate continuity of these mineralised zones at depth. Just a couple of cross sections from Golden Cup, 14 metres at 5.3, 19 metres at 4.3. The interpretation of these zones, again, tightly folded sediments, the plunging ore shoots concentrated on the fold structures. So we're very confident about the ability to extrapolate these all at depth and possibly along strike. In summary, the work programs going forward for us is the deeper diamond drilling at Big Rush, further air core and RC drilling at Camel Creek to substantially extend the known mineralisation underneath those old shallow open pits. That work will lead to updated JORC 2012 estimates that we're planning for Q1 and Q2. And once we have those, we're then in a position to complete a scoping study on both the projects, which will demonstrate the economics and the processing path forward. So that's us in a nutshell. Lots of news going forward, good results going forward, and thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, Simon.